CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Nasha Sherman, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. We are tracking the tropics. Tropical storm Sarah is over the central Caribbean. Let's get right to next weather chief meteorologist and hurricane specialist Ivan Cabrera. And Ivan, you have a new track just in.
Brand new track and new information as well. And we have Sarah because the hurricane hunters have been in there and they have found enough of a wind speed there to classify as that. A tropical storm is 39 miles an hour, so we're at 40 here, so minimal. But the deal with this storm, it's going to just be an incredible rain producer here for Central America. Mudslides, landslides, and catastrophic flooding potential. Words from the National Hurricane Center from the latest advisory there at 4 p.m. It's moving west to 10 very slowly. What it's going to do, kind of a worst case scenario for Honduras, it is going to hug the entire coastline here over the next few days, and it's not going to move that fast. Look at this, Friday through Sunday, 50-mile-an-hour winds the entire time, just pouring on top of the region there. So that is going to be a mess for them. Eventually, it does pull up a little bit to the north and west, but this track from the National Hurricane Center now officially has it dissipating after Monday afternoon. So that is huge news. That is good news for everybody north of where this track is here. I still think we could get some rain out of it because eventually the remnants of what is now Tropical Storm Sarah will get lifted up into the Gulf, mainly as just, some rain that's going to be headed in our direction through the middle part of next week. The jet stream will push that in our east over the next few days, and that's what's going to get us here with some rain and some gusty winds. But huge news there as it dissipates now before it gets into the Gulf. And Sarah will not be an issue, a big issue here for Florida. Excellent news. Low 80s right now. We're looking great for Thursday. We have winds that have subsided, so that's not an issue. Just a few fair weather clouds, and temperatures are holding in the low 80s. There's not much of a heat index because the humidity has come down a bit. These dew points in the low 60s, that's comfortable stuff here. And in fact, we're going to get even drier air as we begin to work another front in to the picture. That comes in through Friday and into Saturday, and that's going to make us even drier and even cooler. And that's when I'm thinking temperatures at night will start dropping into the 60s. The next weather 7-day forecast will feature that. Some of us, this is in Miami, places like Kendall, Weston, in the mid 60s, certainly a possibility here Saturday. So that's a nice cool down that's going to be coming up, and then we'll start increasing the temperatures a bit as we head into next week. And this is what would be left of Sarah as it comes in and mixes in with that same front that we'll talk about over the next few days that will bring us probably the coolest temperatures that we've experienced so far. But that's not until the following weekend. That's your next weather 7-day forecast. Now.
All right, that is some good news. Thank you, Ivan. Now for a big break in the case of a Fort Lauderdale woman who disappeared in Spain earlier this year. Anna Knezevich's husband is now charged with kidnapping and murder. CBS News Miami's Joan Murray is at the federal courthouse with what we learned about the investigation.
Fort Lauderdale businessman David Knezevich is now accused of murdering his estranged wife, Anna. A federal indictment was handed down on Wednesday. Thursday, he was in federal court here in Miami where defense attorneys were asking for more information related to the case. You may remember it was back in February that Anna Knezevich disappeared from her Madrid apartment. David Knezevich, according to police, was seen on surveillance purchasing duct tape and spray paint. He is accused of kidnapping Anna from her Madrid apartment and killing her, although no body has ever been found. Prosecutors say they have enough evidence to convict, although at this point it is unclear whether they will be seeking the death penalty. We'll have a complete roundup on this case beginning at 5 on CBS Miami. In Miami, Joan Murray, CBS News Miami.
A volleyball coach arrested, accused of a disturbing crime. 31-year-old Carlos Concepcion is charged with molestation of a child between 12 and 16 years old. Authorities say the 16-year-old victim told police that her volleyball coach at Bridge Prep Academy of Village Green inappropriately touched her on several occasions. Investigators say he was also fired from that school for allegedly sending inappropriate messages to underage students. CBS News Miami's Peter Dinch is working this story. He'll have more tonight at 5. A father and son devastated. They say thieves drove away with their work trailer. CBS News Miami's Ted Scouten tells us why it's more about what the precious items inside that they lost that has the two concerned.
When thieves stole a trailer from behind a Pompano Beach business, they probably didn't realize the significance of what they were taking. Inside was camping equipment, tents, generators, things like that, things used by a father-son bonding group, whether they're bonding weekends, camping weekends. Now they're hoping someone can help them find all that equipment. Coming up at 5, we'll be talking to members of the group and what this devastating loss means to them. In Pompano Beach, Ted Scouten, CBS News, Miami.
Now to President-elect Donald Trump's transition. His pick of Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz to be his nominee for Attorney General is sending shockwaves through Washington. He resigned from Congress soon after the announcement and has been investigated by both the Department of Justice and the House Ethics Committee. CBS News Miami's Nicole Skanga has the latest from Capitol Hill.
Representative, sir. I hereby resign as a United States Representative for Florida's 1st Congressional District, effective immediately.
The House clerk read former Congressman Matt Gaetz' resignation letter Thursday morning.
In light of the resignation of the gentleman from Florida, Mr. Gaetz, the whole number of the House is 433.
The resignation came just hours after President-elect Trump announced he planned to nominate Gaetz for Attorney General. But it also came just before Friday's House Ethics Committee vote on whether to release a report looking into a range of allegations against Gaetz, including sexual misconduct. Multiple sources tell CBS News 4 women have alleged they were paid to go to parties attended by Congressman Gaetz that included sex and drugs. The committee has Venmo transactions that allegedly show Gaetz's payments for the women. Gaetz has denied all wrongdoing.
The Ethics Committee is still scheduled to meet tomorrow, and some senators are calling for the report to be released ahead of Gaetz's confirmation hearings for Attorney General.
The House Ethics report, would you want to see it before voting on him?
I don't want there to be any limitation at all on what the Senate can consider.
Trump has already called on Senate Republicans to allow recess appointments for his cabinet picks. The move would enable the president-elect's picks to forego Senate confirmation.
As I've talked to colleagues, there are some real concerns about whether or not the Senate will unilaterally give away its critical confirmation power.
The president has total authority to make recess appointments. It's right there in the Constitution.
New Majority Leader John Thune says he's not ruled out recess appointments, but would prefer the Senate hold confirmation hearings. Nicole Skanga, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis posted to Twitter to congratulate all the Floridians nominated to positions. He says he instructed the Florida Secretary of State to start working on a schedule for special elections for those positions. DeSantis would nominate a new senator before that. Providers for emergency contraceptives say there has been a surge in sales following the Republican sweep of the election. CBS News Miami's Caroline Cummings has the report.
When the United States Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, providers reported sales surging for emergency contraceptives. Now there's a similar spike 2 years later following the election. Wings Health reported a 966% increase in sales of their morning after pill. Another company, Wisp, reported a 1,000% increase in sales from November 5th to 6th.
People have expressed fear and worry about their ability to access both abortion care and contraceptive care under a new administration.
Abortion rights are protected in Minnesota. Minnesota Democrats passed a law ensuring access to abortion and contraception, and there is a state Supreme Court ruling too. As a result, Minnesota has seen a spike of out-of-state patients coming here for the procedure.
Emergency contraceptives are available over the counter, and Whole Women's Health of Minnesota says it's ready to meet any demand for long-acting contraception like IUDs.
Should anybody at home have concerns about it running out?
At this point, no. I think most of the manufacturers of both the abortion pill medications as well as contraceptives in Plan B understand the demand.
Republicans will control Congress next year, and President-elect Trump will be in the White House. Trump, though, said last month he doesn't back a federal ban on abortion, writing on social media, quote, "I would not support a federal abortion ban under any circumstances and would, in fact, veto it because it is up to the states to decide based on the will of their voters."
I'm encouraged and hope that the most recent promises from the campaign are true and that they won't seek an abortion ban. But we're also preparing for restrictions in other states and hoping that Minnesota can continue to be a North Star for reproductive rights.
Caroline Cummings, WCCO News.
When we come back, Tesla issues another recall for its Cybertrucks. Look at the problem that now has to be fixed. Welcome back. Now to a consumer alert. Tesla announced another recall involving the Cybertruck. The recall is over a faulty part. It could cause the vehicle to lose power, impacting the wheels. The recall applies to 2,400 Cybertrucks built between November 6th of last year to July 30th of this year. Tesla says it isn't aware of any accidents, injuries, or deaths because of the issue. This is the 6th recall of the Cybertruck this year. It's not a clinical or a medical term, but excessive screen time may be causing what's being called digital dementia. The average American is using the internet for about 7 hours a day. All of that incoming stimuli and constant distraction could be warping the brain and causing symptoms like decreased ability to focus, forgetfulness, anger, and depression. Experts say it's even more harmful for kids.
They're online more than 10 hours a day, and a lot of it is just short videos. This is going to change the way the frontal cortex is developing. That's the seat of executive function, control. So I think the term digital dementia makes us think of old people. I think just digital fragmentation as your child's brain is growing. You don't want that to be happening.
To counter those effects in kids, experts suggest no smartphone before the age of 14, no social media until 16, phone-free schools, and more free play and independence time. Congress is also weighing bipartisan legislation called the Kids Online Safety Act to help protect young users. And that's your CBS News Miami Quickcast. I'm Naja Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami, and have a great day.